More of this. So yeah, let's do that. So this story is sort of important on a bigger scale because this has something important. Because it is in number 5 where it starts, but this continues the sort of situation that was in the last one, which was Irene Adler doing something interesting to sort of look into her thing and coming into conflict with the Moriartys, with Sherlock sort of being there. This is the first one that's sort of, in the way, something that will, I think, later on do, because the first couple of these, here is Moriarty's story, where I would say later on, it's sort of both of their stories. You still get the main focus on the Moriartys. Maybe I need to tap that away. Sorry, my arm's just being like, I have a light. You still get the Moriarty story, but it is also intertwined, rather, because until Sherlock was in this, Sherlock wasn't that focused, which makes sense. If you're dealing with Moriarty, you have to deal with Sherlock. Because, and I do know that some people are going to be like, but in the original he wasn't really in it. Yes, I know, but people have connected those two, and you can't get rid of osmosis. He's become far bigger than what the original Arthur Conan Doyle story has made, and they have become connected to each other in such a way that, even though it's not what it originally was, it is now, so you can't do anything about it. The public connect those two together, so when people write about stories about them, they're connected. You can't. That's just life. But yeah. I put O2 is meant to be over 7. Anyway. One of the things which is interesting is near the beginning of the story, and I would say probably like a big chunk of the story, which I would say is that much, like a third of the story, I would say even more, like straight up, like near, I would say like a third of the story starts off with this sort of party, which I like. Because it, one, shows off to Irene Adler who at least one of the Moriartys are. Or more specifically, the Lord of Crime. You then get the sort of like her acting skills. And before I say anything, I am going to talk about this because it is a part of this and the story going forward. So it will be something that I might need to talk about. Irene Adler, at a certain point, turns into James Bond. And I don't know if I should read it in that way or if it's just her playing a part. Either way, support trans rights. I just feel like I need to say that because it's true. And at the current moment, that is a very hot topic, even though it shouldn't be. If you are who you are, be that. Just respect people. It's basic respect. Anyway, during the first part, it shows her acting in that. Again, don't know how to read it, but I'm just going to carry on because it's an interesting character anyway. And then later on, when they reveal the truth, and like I said in the fifth one, there's reason why she would trust Moriarty. Someone who was a lower class and not a lord or lady of Sovin, actually wasn't a lady, wanted to become like the main actor. Oh no, you can't do that because I'm a lady. Not lady in that way, but like lady as in lord and lady. And I should get the part because I'm more important and my dad knows the director, and it's her saying, her from someone who also came from noble beginnings, which is interesting because that makes out of the cast roughly a lot of them not lords and ladies. Because out of Moriarty, 2 of them are that situation, even though one of them's going off falseness. And it's about standing up against someone who's being overpressed. Well, like there's any way to do it. I'm just being sarcastic. Anyway, and this is all about a document that led the sort of like fake revolution, or sort of like made a revolution with France. Do I think this is true? I don't know. I'm not a historian. I don't know the facts. This is Sherlock and Moriarty are real, which we know for a fact isn't the case. Arthur Conan Doyle created both characters, and Sherlock was sort of written like a doctor that taught him, I think. I'm not entirely too sure about that. But we know that Sherlock is not a real character, or a real person more specifically. But I do like this because it shows the Moriarty gaining an interesting look while introducing Adrian Isla, and then slowly gaining new people into the sort of like fold of this group. So yeah, I do like this, and I do love this series because it shows one thing which I joke, but I do feel like I do need to mention. There's a lot of thing about no kings here, which is a thing in the US. I'm not going to talk about that too much because I'm from the UK and I can't comment about that too much. And I know there's another thing in the UK though with the Online Safety Act. Can't talk about that too much. And you might be thinking, oh, it's because it's something that people are saying about being censored. No, it's because I don't know much about it. And I'm not going to talk about something that I don't really know. At least not personally. I do my own research, but I don't get it fully. Anyway. But it's all about standing up against people who would push you down. More specifically, in this book series, even at this point, is the lords and ladies who are doing stuff because, in their own words, they are better than everyone else. Which I like as a book conversation. Because Moriarty is still doing things that are not the most moral. People are dying and they are fine with that. But more specifically, it's people who hurt people. It's the idea of an eye for an eye. And even though I get it, and I get it fully, I think it's Gandhi, who said, an eye for an eye makes the world go blind. Basically, violence begets violence. And if you ask me who said that, I don't know. I just know I know what it means. Basically, violence creates more violence, which is true. But in a situation like that, you kind of get where they're going from. So yeah, here you have this. So yeah, if you want to do that, I have a Patreon. So yeah. The other thing which is interesting is, here's another one. Not so many left of these. Also, I think I might have messed up a bit because I can't find the others. Oh no, I found the others. Yeah. So yeah, I think there's Daredevil season 2 and Jessica Jones season 3, if I'm not mistaken. And if it's not here, I might need to add it at some point, because that will be the last one. But I might need to double check while I'm not actively recording myself, because we're going to do this. But that would make the third out of the 4 of the things I was in the Defenders. So that's been a while of me nearly finishing all of the Marvel Netflix. Which, yes, I know it's not technically the Marvel Netflix, it's technically on Disney Plus. But they're always going to be Marvel Netflix to me. That's besides the point. It's all technicalities. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It was made by Netflix and Marvel doing contribution. So yeah. But yeah, I hope you enjoy. I hope you like this video. I am going to do more of these because I have read, again, quite a bit in this book series. And I love this book series. So yeah. But I hope you do enjoy. I hope you like. And yeah. Good night.